what is a GSA contract? This is a very difficult question to answer, and it gets very convoluted. The term GSA contract can mean different things in different contexts. Sometimes when I'm answering this question, I feel like I'm inside of this print by M.C. Escher. What I've found is that I can address this question from 3 different angles, and that kind of clarifies things very nicely. So the first is just a general definition of what a GSA contract is. And then from the perspective of a contractor, and then from a federal buyer's perspective. So first off here, just a general definition. A GSA contract is a federal contract. It is between a business or a contractor like you and the federal government, specifically the General Services Administration, or GSA. It is a long-term contract. The initial base period is 5 years, and then there are 3 options to renew. Altogether, this is a 20-year contract if all goes as planned. A GSA contract is a $0 IDIQ, indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity. And just like that sounds, it is not for any awarded dollars. It is more of a channel for sales to flow through. GSA contract really as a process involves kind of a due diligence check into your company and pre-negotiating the discounts that you're going to offer to the government through this contract. And then last but not least, there are many different phrases and acronyms that refer to a GSA contract. Some of them are here below. GSA Schedules, that's used interchangeably. MAS is short for Multiple Award Schedule. This is the name of the program. And FSS is Federal Supply Schedule, and that's also called a GSA contract interchangeably quite often. Now, from the perspective of a contractor like you, a GSA contract really is just there to drive sales. It's a license to hunt in the federal market in a way. It's kind of a sales channel for opportunities to come in and flow through. So ultimately, it's an advantage for a company in the federal market. A GSA contract provides exclusive access to the GSA systems that are really just there to connect federal buyers with sellers like you. And then as kind of a consolation prize of having a GSA contract, it does show legitimacy in the federal market. So oftentimes companies that get a GSA contract do also experience a boost in open market sales as well. Now, last but not least, it's always important to understand the perspective of your customer. And for federal buyers, GSA contract is a buying tool. It really does reduce the friction in the federal acquisition or purchasing process for them. And it simplifies it. In other words, it cuts the red tape from something called the Federal Acquisition Regulations, which is the giant living and changing and breathing document that governs federal purchasing. Everything has to follow the FAR. And in the end, GSA contracts also reduce competition, which is good for you, but also can be really good for buyers as well. Buyers sometimes release very large bids, and sometimes they have to take in hundreds of proposals, whereas if they go through the GSA program, they know they're going to get a shorter group of proposals from much more qualified companies. So this is a really good program for them to use on their end.